Lately, I've noticed how fast we jump to the same conclusion. If we feel tired, something must be wrong. If we feel unmotivated, something must be wrong. If life feels heavy or unclear, something must be wrong. Most of the time, there isn't. We're just human. Welcome to the bench session, where we unload the weight, one session at a time. I'm Juan, and this is a space for real, honest, and open conversations. The kind we usually only have with ourselves. No filters, no hiding. Just me, a mic, and a bench. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 1 of season 2. We made it an entire season. Took a little break, a little reset, a little strategy to try to see where we're going to go from here. And as I was doing that, I started to realize and notice things. Not to recap the entire season 1, but towards the ending, how it evolved and it became more of a being in the moment, realizing the moment you're in, understanding it. And as I was trying to come up with an idea for this episode, I noticed that we all kind of have the same conclusion, the same pressure to be okay. Somewhere along the way, we decided that, feeling off means we're failing at something. If we're not being productive today or yesterday, or we're not being productive at all, you're lazy. If you're feeling unmotivated, you're broken. If you're not sure, you must be lost. And that pressure didn't come from nowhere. It came from constantly seeing people online who look like they have it all figured out. And social media is a great tool to help keep people connected, but it's also a bunch of bullshit. It shows us only the good parts in people's lives, and we've touched on that before. But, that kind of puts pressure on being okay. I mean, it's fine being tired. There's nothing wrong, right? You're not motivated. You feel a little off today. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just being okay. You're being human, because that's what we are. Social media, all we're doing on there is just seeing the highlight reel. We're not seeing real life. We're not seeing the downsides of their lives. We're just seeing all the good stuff. And we post pretty much just the good stuff of our lives as well. Feeling tired, it doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean it could mean you're sick if you're actually, have an illness or something like that. But, just feeling tired, sometimes it's okay. Sometimes we just have to be tired. We just didn't sleep right or something. It doesn't mean that, we're failing. Feeling overwhelmed, again, it doesn't mean you're failing. You just have a lot on your plate and you're trying to navigate your way through everything that you have there. Trying to prioritize, trying to do, please everybody. So there's nothing wrong with you at that point either. Sometimes we feel unmotivated. That doesn't mean that we have lost our edge or our path or anything like that. We just feel unmotivated today, feel unmotivated for this hour, for this moment. All it usually means is you've been carrying too much for too long without slowing down enough to realize how much stuff you're carrying. And like I said, that brought me to the point of being in the moment, right? Realizing where you're at. It's sure you have pressure. Sure, we all have things going on in our lives. We all have bills. We all have whatever it is, but we're always rushing. We're always, looking this way, looking that way, planning this, planning that. What I came to realize was we need to start slowing down, right? This bench, it showed me how to slow down, how to take a moment, how to see, how to, stop and smell the roses, for the lack of a better word. It's us. There's no race that we have to go to. We put that pressure and that rush on ourselves. We wake up, we're thinking about the traffic, we're thinking about work. We're at lunch, we're thinking about something else. We're thinking about this, we're thinking about that. We're coming home from work, we're thinking about the next day. What are we going to do the next day? And then the next, and we're never thinking about the moment we're in. If you're eating lunch, you're eating lunch. If you're working, you're working. If you're driving, you're driving. If you're sitting on the couch with your family, sit on the couch with your family. Be in that moment. Be present in that moment. Don't have your body be in one place and your mind's wandering off trying to do a whole bunch of other things, because then you're missing out on what's in front of you. Right? So that's what I came to realize as I was going through everything. And like I said, that's how season 1 was slowly evolving into that. And towards the end, that's when everything started kind of becoming a little nice picture where I started realizing that, hey, I needed to slow down, be in the moment. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean like you get paid today, blow all your money because you're living in the moment. Not that kind of thing. Just, be aware of the moment you're in. Be present. Notice things. Notice other people, how they're rushing about their lives. Notice the fact that, you may have gum stuck on your shoe and then who knows how long it's been there. A lot of people have this misconception about, if you're not motivated, you're not this, you're not that, you're broken, right? But there's a difference between being broken and being burnt out. We quickly label ourselves as broken when more than likely we're just burnt out. Burnt out doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it just looks like apathy or being irritable or feeling disconnected from things that you used to care about. And it's okay. Sometimes burnouts happen. But that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means your systems needs attention, your body, your mind, everything needs attention, not judgment. So when you come to that moment, just, slow down, take a breath. Life, it's a race. If you want to make it one, but guess what? You're not going to make it out alive. All you're doing is rushing to your grave, because that's where we're all going to end up at anyway. There's a difference between needing to change and needing to give yourself permission to be where you are. Okay? Be in the moment. Be aware of what's going on. Not everything needs to be fixed. Some things just need to be noticed. Right? Awareness doesn't solve problems overnight, but it stops you from fighting yourself while you're figuring things out. Because we get this whole tunnel vision and we ignore other things that are going on, and we're so focused on just whatever minuscule task that we're trying to do that's not working. Like what, you're going to do this 5-minute job, and then that 5-minute job turns into 3 hours later and you still haven't resolved the issue. Because we got so tunnel focused that we just, lost everything. We lost critical thinking skills. We were too busy planning ahead versus just taking a moment and staring at the problem and seeing exactly what it is. What are you rushing through in your day-to-day life? That's something I want you guys to wonder about. Even just morning traffic going to work. How many people are honking, speeding, running red lights because they're so late to work? Work's going to be there. You're already late. What are you going to do? Be more late? You're late. Be safer. Think about it. Slow down. Be in the moment. Realize what you're doing. Take a breath. Life's not a competition. If you make it one, that's on you, but it's not a competition with anybody else. If you're listening to this and you're thinking that something's wrong with you, there isn't. That's not a medical doctor statement. That's just me being generalized in my message that I'm trying to get across here. Sometimes there's just nothing wrong with you. It's just we're human, and we need to keep it simple. We need to be honest, and we need to be calm. It's as simple as that. Take a breath. And like I said, not everything needs to be fixing. Not everything needs to be resolved. Nothing gets fixed overnight. I don't know where this season's going to go, but we're going to go on this journey together. And we'll see what we notice along the way. Sometimes the most honest thing you can say to yourself is, there's nothing wrong with me. If you take anything away from this episode, take that away. Sometimes the most honest thing you can say is, nothing is wrong with me. Thanks for sitting with me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Same bench, same real talk, whole new season.